As new, more contagious strains of COVID-19 continue to turn up, some medical experts say it's time to start wearing two masks as protection against the virus.
While that may be more effective, many people still resist the idea of wearing even one mask. New tonight, NewsChannel 8's Tyler Butler looks at why calling for two masks might be especially challenging here in Oklahoma.
March 6, 2020 was no ordinary First Friday in Tulsa. The governor was in town to make a major announcement.
We are here today to announce the first confirmed positive case of COVID-19 in the state of Oklahoma.
The art crawl that night was no different than any other. A bit of trepidation in the air, but masks were still something you wore on Halloween, not walking down the street.
You got to be precautious. I'm not really a nervous Nelly, but I'm also not like a hugger either, so I don't touch a lot of people, so I'm not as nervous.
As Oklahoma's COVID cases steadily increased, Tulsa passed a mask mandate, but many other cities did not, and masks became a symbol of something that transcended public health.
It's about politics, it's about power, and that's treading on our liberty, and I think that's intolerable as well.
We will not comply. I'm not wearing a mask. That's my choice.
Not even a year after that first case, Oklahoma is now nearing 400,000 confirmed COVID infections and an average of 40 deaths a day. Just last week, as Broken Arrow was about to reject another call for a mask mandate, one resident compared masks to the badges worn by Jews in the Holocaust.
It's a mask, it's a badge. Do you see the connection? It's a badge, it's a mask, it's for your protection.
With so many Oklahomans opposing the notion of wearing one mask, how will they respond to the notion of wearing two? Some see it as a safeguard against the new, more contagious COVID strain that's making its way across the country, but even the experts aren't sure.
We just don't know how effective wearing more than one mask is.
Dr. George Monks, president of the Oklahoma State Medical Association, says while we know for sure that masks work, two masks have never been studied. Still, last week we saw several people at the inauguration and in the White House double masked.
We've got a few questions from people like, did I miss something? Is there new recommendations? So what have you heard out there about this?
We don't have the studies to back up just how much more protection it adds, if it adds any at all. We're still recommending what the CDC recommends, which is wearing a single mask that is well-fitting, something that's breathable material, but yet a tightly woven fabric.
If wearing two masks at once feels a little overboard to you, there are some studies that say that double masking does work, but Dr. Dale Bratzler with OU Med tells us it's not all on just you.
If both parties are wearing even just a cloth mask, it dramatically reduces the possibility of transmission from one person to another.
Two masks, two people. We know that works. But what does Dr. Bratzler think of doubling up? Like Dr. Monks, he could find no research that it helps. But in theory,
if you wear two masks, you will increase filtration and you may decrease the amount of droplets that you can inhale. So there's nothing wrong with it.
If you want to double up, no harm done. When you wear one mask, make sure it fits that criteria of multiple layers. And as we've known since the early days of this pandemic, one mask is better than nothing at all. Tyler Butler, News Channel 8.
The two doctors say medical professionals often do wear two masks, but that's in part because they're dealing directly with COVID-positive patients. And in the early days of this pandemic, double masking was used to protect N95 respirators so they could be reused.